Kleza, was playing that time, also very cocky, very, Actually, with Charas, I have a history. I'm mad when he played in Barcelona. I was playing in Efes. He made the move first. See, I'm getting slapped in the face first. I'm getting like this, and then I go.
Difference in basketball players' mentality.
Soft. 1000%. This is what Latvian Federation gave me for all my years.
Fantastic. I don't know how Basket News gets so lucky. How do we organize these interviews? Maybe God helps us, but we came for a Lithuania-Latvia Eurobasket match, an 8th final match. I think it will be a good battle. And if we're talking about Lithuanian and Latvian basketball, there is no other person in our Lithuanian mind than Kasparą Kambalą, our fierce opponent, the big guy who was always tough, always went into conflict with us. But after all these years, this is what drives us, the nostalgia and everything, all the stories. So hello, Kasparą. I'm really glad that you welcomed us into our house. What do you feel before tomorrow?
Honestly, I don't have that many feelings or I'm not thinking about it that much. Of course, the European Championship is in Latvia, my ex-teammates are in Federation, and I think they have done fantastic job organizing in Riga as far as as far as where I have been, playing in championships, European championships. I'm really pleased how things are going. Hopefully we're going to beat you. Unfortunately, I can't go out there.
What would you do if you had the chance to go on court?
I have a story. You guys gonna like it. It's a little bit of a dirty story.
Okay.
But you're gonna like it. The last time when I played again Lithuania, we had this little incident there.
Yeah, with the gloves and everything.
The gloves, our basketball federation. This was kind of like a promo thing, but I think it set up the whole game for very aggressive. They say, "Hey guys, you want to wear some gloves?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I don't care," But it wasn't meant that I'm gonna go out and fight. But I had to say, for me, at that time, like as far as the centers and big guys, and he was very competitive. He was competitive guys, Kleza, was playing that time, also very cocky, very, So I think at that time I just kind of more reacted on it. But the story is after the game, I was walking in a tunnel and Rimas, he was also a coach at that time, I believe.
Yeah, he was an assistant coach to Ramūnas Butautas, yeah.
Yes. And his girlfriend at the time, because I was talking to Igor Smigelnieks and Rimas something, and his girlfriend came and she was like, and stepped with her high heel on my shoes.
Oh.
On my foot. Like, she was very angry about this. That was the most I got, the most painful thing I got from this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the whole game, this was the most painful thing.
Because I'm just standing, I'm talking to Igors and Rimas something, and I don't know, this was a long time ago, and I heard she was pretty wild one, but it was like, she just came up and like this with her.
In that match, of course, like you said, there was Linas Kleza, other Lithuanian guys, like brothers Lavrinovic, do you remember them?
I have, with those guys, actually I have really, really good relationship. I've played with them, many years against each other. When I was in Unix, I think they were in Dynamo Moscow, also Yevtokas. With them, actually, I always played. We came on the court, we had this respect. We were not going out to, throw elbows or be dirty, It's more of the smaller guys always kind of,
Okay.
I got issues with.
I watched a video of remembering that game of 2009, and you said Linas Kleza is a cocky guy, and in the interview after the game he said I don't care if I get an injury, like in rephrasing those words. But yeah, you said that word. Linas Kleiza was cocky guy. Why did he leave you that impression? Of course, he was young and everything. What do you saw in that time in Linas?
I think it was just like, and cocky was in a good way, meaning as far as like he was very competitive, he was ready to fight, he was ready to be tough, and I liked that kind of game, for me, I was just like, oh, okay, this guy, like for us it was more like when we're playing against somebody else that's, Linas or whomever else that's, wants to make some provocations, wants to be tough. I actually liked it. Okay.
I want to talk about also your debut in the national team. Do you remember your first tournament, the 2001 Eurobasket, where you have been playing against Lithuania, also in the 8th final? Today I actually talked with Ainars Bagackis, and he told me that this was one of the crucial points for you guys, because until then, until 2001, Latvia didn't have a really good center, a really good presence down in the post. Mm-hmm. And in that tournament, when you've joined, you had near you Robert Stelmacher, Ainars Bagackis, some other guys. So this kind of team had the potential to grow. And you beat Lithuania in the 8th final, 18 points. Mm-hmm. So what do you remember about that situation, your first joining of Latvian national team and playing first time, feeling the atmosphere of playing Lithuania?
For me, I was a pretty decent player because I was playing in UNLV, we had played in some conference championships, we had 20,000 spectators, then I played in summer league. So I was kind of feeling, but when I came to Europe, nobody's like, oh, who is this Kambalą? He came from America, some university, UNLV. But I was feeling confident because I knew my strengths, and for me, it was just like I was going out there every day like, oh, I got to prove them, I got to show them. Lithuania was almost, for me personally, of course, Lithuania, it's always been, because we are like, we were compared, there's Lithuania and we're like, stepchildren, and that tournament already was going really good for us and good personally for me. So I think in that game, a lot of focus was on me, and then our other guys could really shine, and they caught the mojo and shooting really good, and we killed Lithuania, and hopefully we kill them tomorrow.
I'm just wondering, Šarūnas Jasikevičius is playing against Kasparą Kambalą. Because I know Šaras is a hot guy, he can get into some emotions. Did you hear any trash talk from Lithuanians in those legendary games, 2001, 2003? Who are those Lithuanian guys that you relished going up against?
Me and actually with Šaras, I have a history. I'm mad that when he played in Barcelona, I was playing in FS. They beat us the game when I scored. The EuroLeague record.
18, yeah. If somebody doesn't know, Kasparą Kambalą still holds a EuroLeague record.
No, I don't. I don't. It was used to be I made 41 points. But now Shane Larkin, how many years ago, he scored 47 or 49?
Maybe, but you still hold the record for most two-pointers made in EuroLeague.
Yeah, this one, yeah? Yeah.
18 two-pointers made is still an EuroLeague record for playing FS Pilsen against Barcelona with Šaras.
Šaras, yeah. And I remember I was so mad in second overtime. Antonio Granger made a foul, like when Šaras hit 2 points, with 2 free throws, we were down, we lost by 1. That game I should have scored 60. The last in 2 overtimes I almost didn't get the ball. I was like shooting 68, 70%. But when you're asking about Lithuanians, I really with Šaras I had very good relationships. My first, like what I would call my The person that taught me everything about European basketball was Šaulis Stomēniks.
Really?
Yeah, because when I came to Efes, the same year Šaulis also came to Efes, and he would be like this. Man, you were killing. But, you know, because we're neighbors. Neighbor countries. We also live near each other, so obviously we became friends. Rather than immediately with some Turkish guys or other foreign players, and he was like, "Man, you were killing these guys. You're killing, these centers there, like this NBA players. Like, how much you making?" I was like, "I'm making this." He was like, "You signed for this money? Oh, but do you know the guy we're gonna play against? He's making this." And so before every game, he started telling me who is the center and how much money he's making,
And what if he earns less than you?
No, I was earning less than anybody in my first year in Europe. I was like earning like 3 or 4 times less than anybody because nobody knew me. And Storm was like, he's like, Cass, well, this guy. I was just going out there killing him, because before every game, he's like, hey, this guy has this type of career. This guy, I remember we were going to Kinder Bologna, and he's like, oh, Rashard Griffiths, this, the Australian guy, Anderson. He's like, oh, they're like making like together 2 million, it's over 2 million. You're like, you making like 200. I was like, oh shit, what? I scored 30 and 20.
I wanted to ask you about your comparison of this Latvian generation where you've played, and looking back, what role do you feel you personally played in shaping the Latvia's basketball in those years?
Well, I'm hoping that in some way I put in the same some kind of I don't know, input into basketball. Like I was looking up, to Migelniek's brothers, Vatra, the generation that was before me, that was playing with Soviet team, or playing Olympics, or first guys to NBA. Actually my, one guy who I haven't really met, and I didn't get to play him. I really wanted. My first number was because of him, number 11. You could. Arvydas, yes, Arvydas with his hook shots. I never learned how to pass like him.
I think you would get a lot of curse words against Arvydas. You would get a lot of blah, oh, nah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Arvydas doesn't like physical contact, and you gave a lot of physical contact.
Yeah. That I would probably try to. Because when I was playing Rashard Griffiths, when he was, my thing was this, okay, he's 2 meters 25, like 150 kilos. The only way I can stop him, when he was coming near the 3-point line, I was bam, I was meeting him with the elbow. Yeah, Sabas probably cursed me out, but this is one player, I that was my idol when I was growing up. My hook shots and everything was, coming directly from him, and he was probably, if you ask me, for any people in the world I would like to play against, would have been him, because he returned and played with Žalgiris, for a while, but I never got to play with him. Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Why I've asked about the role, because like I said at the start of the interview, for us Lithuanians, you looked always this big, aggressive, strong guy, and is this outside picture like fair? And what do you think are those biggest myths about Kasparą Kambalą?
Well, obviously it is fair. Yeah, when I am on this, this 3 second zone, I looked at it. This is my house. This is my house. This is where I live. This is where I eat, and this is how I make my money. So, of course, I had to protect myself. I had to be, a lot of people don't think that when I was getting on the court, there could have been a lower level team, lower level players, but they were coming to me like this. This was their every time that they stepped on the court against me, this was game of their life, And every time, even if the teams were not so good, the players were not so good, like I had to be in focus because somebody is going to try to take my food, you know? So yeah, on the court, I didn't care, you know? I didn't care if I break somebody, if I hurt somebody. I mean, I didn't want to do it on purpose. But at the same time, you know, there was like, Slavinovic, you know, we played, it was like, okay, hey, what's up, guys? Okay, let's play today. Like, we didn't fight. We were working on skill, but there were some players that they were thinking, oh, this is Kambală, we have to prove ourselves, show ourselves. I don't think there's anybody who had elbows like me in Europe, and you know, I was laughing. My elbow had an eye. You know, I could see somebody coming, just move their right way, put my elbows up so this person runs into them and hurts himself.
That's interesting, because in Lithuania we had some players who had those pretty nasty moves, like talking about elbows. I even heard players who were twisting nipples on the court. So Paulius Jankūnas, Jonas Mačiulis, maybe some other Lithuanian guys, Artūras Jomantas, which you've punched with the elbow.
You see, he deserved it. He won it. But you see, he made the move first.
Really? Jomantas made the move first?
When I hit, when you can see I'm getting slapped in the face first. I'm getting like this, and then I go.
Okay, so it was a 1-1 situation.
They were asking for it.
Yeah, so...
and also, you know, the thing was this, that we were losing by 8 points. The arena was like full. It was a friendly game. There's no friendly games against Lithuania, by the way. You know, there was and it's like minute and a half to go. We're down by 8, and it was just, you know, something had to be done. And that whole small episode, it changed a lot. And then there was an episode when the referee trying to pull me out.
Yeah.
What was that? But yeah, it changed and we won the game. So it was just about winning. It wasn't personal.
Yeah, it was 16 years ago, this tough fight.
Shit.
Yeah, 16 years ago. And when I am comparing the basketball that was back in the time, when I'm seeing Kasparą Kambalą really throwing elbows to the face and didn't getting disqualification, in 2025 I think these things would be completely different. Would you think that this is a question of mentality right now, when we are comparing basketball players in 2005, in 2025? What difference do you see between these two eras of basketball players?
Well, first of all, most of the teams they're all the same height now. You know, I was in the game the other day. Okay, I think Czechs are not the basketball. You know, like let's say
Czechs. Yeah, that would be.
But I mean, still they're all the same height.
Czechs are not in basketball.
Oh, okay, but I'm looking at the team that are like everybody the same height. You know. And most of the teams, everybody looks like they're just, you know, there's no more positions like direct center, you know, point. It's just kind of...
But do you see a difference in basketball players' mentality?
Soft.
They are softer today?
1000%. Like first game when I went to, thanks God, our team, you know, Latvians, they that's what I was hoping for, you know. They're picking up the speed and they're starting to play really well. But first game I went to Turkey and Latvia, and I was looking like, what is this? Like a pickup game? Like this is the first game, opening game in European Championship, and guys just like I didn't see anybody sprint. I didn't see anybody dive for a loose ball. I didn't see, you know, like the physicality was like, you know, it was. I don't know, it's different. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it is different, you know, definitely it's for sure it's soft, yeah.
Okay.
Basketball, like, it was normal, you know, somebody got with a cut over his eye, you know, somebody was bleeding, so, you know, like, Now you see guys, the only injuries you see is somebody falling, twisted his ankle, something like that. I mean, I had my head split. How many times? People's teeth getting knocked out, Nowadays, maybe it's better this way, I don't know. Who knows?
You've mentioned Latvia. Let's stay on this topic because we kind of got an answer that, okay, we are talking about Latvia that got 5th place in the World Cup 2 years ago. And this is a really solid result for Latvia. But when we're talking about mentality, you said that your players in your time were a bit stronger in this regard. So, which do you think Latvian basketball generation is better, yours or this one, the 2025?
Better. Obviously, if you look at the players, we have Porzingis. We didn't have anybody that played at this type of level. Bertans, I mean, we didn't have NBA players at this time when I was, in my generation. We were tougher. We were like, I mean, I'm expecting our guys to do something, and I'm happy they start playing better. And obviously, Kristaps is Porzingis is such a great talent, and we have other guys that can play. We have more guys that are, let's say, more qualified and played in bigger arenas and bigger levels. And, I mean, if you think about us, I came and I just had signed to FS Pilsen, Stelmachers was playing in Olker, Migelnieks was playing, he was playing in Ceska, and some Polish teams, but we didn't have any NBA players. And, Porzingis, very close to being, top level NBA players. So,
okay.
So as far as accolades and as far as level of play, of course, these guys are much more.
Okay. In your generation between 2001, when you've debuted in Latvian national team, until 2015, Latvia just once reached Eurobasket quarterfinal. But I mean, I wouldn't say that you had the quality to be there every time. But would you think that one time in 14 years was a bit less than you've expected in the whole nation?
Well, I think I'm going to be very honest. I think the federation and the coaches and all that stuff, when it was the last now or never, we had this tagad vai nekad. Latvians, we had this famous slogan, biedriņš me.
Okay.
Who was the coach? Your coach?
Kemzura?
Kemzura. I think it was complete bullshit how the whole thing was organized. Players were getting punished for something that the coaches allowed them to do, during off days and stuff, and there was no, somebody getting suspended, not suspended, one guy can. It wasn't. Coaches wanted to, there was like 5 coaches. One was good with this guy, other guy was with this guy, and they thought we're gonna bring and I'm gonna talk to this guy. No, it was just. I think it was just mismanagement, lack of discipline as far as coming from
the federation.
From the federation, and not from And if you think about this. A great idea, me going out with boxing gloves, but what the hell was this has to do with basketball? Why did that have to be done? It sets precedents. There's many things that we're trying to do show and trying to do this.
But would you say that it is some part of it is the players should take the blame, or players are not a part of the problem that was on that time?
Well, how can we be? Well, of course, players, we are playing.
Because, it is like kind of a rumor that in that time, Latvian players were, what is that correct word?
Partying, you know,
No, yeah,
reckless?
yeah, discipline problems. Let's say like that.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about that. We had one person that one of the players that had a discipline problem, but discipline problem meaning while there was games hadn't even started. It was just some kind of, you know, it was the very beginning of the. Which coaches first kicked him out, but because certain player, let's say, was like, oh, this is my friend, and this player had status in the team, said, no, I need him. Coach reinstated him, you know, then they were just a bunch of bullshit, you know, and coach is seeing it, not saying anything, it was fine. When we lost, then we're like, oh, you know, it was the same thing. You know, I had, after the German game, it was like 2 seconds after the game, I threw an elbow, but it was kind of, you know, it was still in the mix of. Then our federation president, Schneps, was going to me. I had at the middle of the night, I had to go to FIBA meeting where they presented me with the tooth that I had knocked out. And he said, Cass, we're behind you. Fuck these guys, fuck that, fuck this, you know, like we are proud of you. And then like you go back to Latvia and all of a sudden he disciplinary this, disciplinary that, I mean, and so few of the times we went out for some beers, it wasn't like we were doing it before the games, you know, it's like we finished the tournament in Ankara, you know, we went out with the team, it's like how long before the games, it wasn't we, you know, getting obligatory drunk and, you know, causing all kind of problems, which at that time, no coaches said there was a problem. After and they were aware of what's going on, obviously, and after they were like, oh, okay, this guy, and
okay, this why I'm asking because in this past summer 2024, Lithuania and our basketball also had this. I wouldn't say an issue, but it was a scandal after the Olympic qualifying tournament in Puerto Rico. It was the story surfaced about Lithuanian basketball players of drinking in the hotel. It is, I don't know if it was before the game. It was, I mean, 2 days before the game or something. Nobody doesn't know how much did they drink. Nobody knows which players or how many players. It doesn't matter. But what is your perspective on such kind of a story? Does the community should make a problem when basketball players?
Well, let me ask you then this question, okay? Let's say there's a parliament meeting in 2 days. Then there's a serious discussion about some serious law that will affect the whole country's future, right?
Okay.
Should they be allowed to 2 days before to have some drinks at dinner, have some wines, have some drinks? Should they or not?
I mean, if we're talking about parliament, I mean, it doesn't matter then.
How it doesn't matter? Alcohol affects your mind. Even maybe more so affects your mind than in 2 days later. If you're drinking red wine and have some glasses of red wine, hockey players always drink beer after their games. For them, it's normal. Nobody says, oh, hockey players. Have you seen, I don't know, one hockey game when after the game the guys don't have few cases of beer and don't drink beer. I mean, to the highest level, to the you know.
LeBron James drinks wine.
LeBron James drinks wine. Yeah. So I think it's the performance that you should be judged by, not what you do, how you're getting prepared for. Okay. If you are the night before the game, if you are obliterated drunk, you know, in some club, you know, some strip club going like this, and then next day you're looking, you can't move, you know, it's probably fucked up, yeah. I mean, you need to know your limits, you need to know how to prepare. Some people eat pasta, some people eat rice, you know. The day before, if you're talking about this, most of my games, how I scored EuroLeague record, I can tell you. EuroLeague record, yeah. I scored. We were playing in at home game. Normally at home games with FS, we could stay at home. But we had practice, and somewhere in the middle of a practice, Marcus Brown answered something back to the coach. Coach was mad at us. He said, "Sick targit," means fuck off, everybody. Everybody needs to report immediately to the hotel. Nobody's gonna stay home. And he was like, okay. For me, it was fine because we go to the hotel, we have a dinner, then we take another room. You know, we drink maybe till 1 in the morning. We had, we had some beers, some wine, went to bed, woke up at 9 for a shoot around, and had breakfast, and scored your record. You know, sometimes, you know, people don't realize how much stress you have, like, especially in Lithuania. If you're talking about Lithuania, all eyes are on Lithuanian basketball. Everybody wants to say, hey, he needs to do it this way, he needs to do it that way, he needs to do it. But these are all grown people. Why they can consume wine, but if a heart surgeon has a heart surgery next day, can he drink a glass of wine or no? Who are we to judge? We don't know. You know, it's just, yeah, of course, if you're coming out and then you know, obviously you're, but if you eat too much before the game, if you do anything that you do too much in life, I think it's bad. But so 2 days before the game, you know, I don't know, they had some beers. Maybe sometimes it's better. We've had as a basketball player, there have been times when shit is fucked up and team is ready to fight and tournament is not good, and we come to one room and, you know, we take a bunch of beers and talk some shit and drink some beers, and next day go out to practice, and day after that, and we are back together as a team, you know. I mean, who knows what is right, you know?
I want everyone to know what Kasparas Kambalą is doing right now. I've heard before the interview, but I want for people to...
Kasparą Kambalą right now, this summer I've taken up acting. I was in a Korean movie. I was in a Korean movie playing a Russian human trafficker. A small role, but it was a lot of action figures, right? That was a really good experience because I got to work in Korean industry with some really good Korean actors. I didn't have a small role, but and then I filmed also in a German TV series about Mozart. It's called Mozart. I'm a violin player, I'm a street musician and a boxer, so I had to learn how to play violin, well, more how to hold it. And in a Venetian Film Festival now came out a movie with Jude Law, Paul Dano, Alicia Whitaker, and Kasparą Kambalą. It's called The Wizard of Kremlin, and it's about this whole Kremlin bullshit, you know. We have a reality show, Celebrities Without Filter, like third season going on in Latvia. And we just in cinemas came out, premiered my documentary about my life. I'm gonna box in September 20th. But this is more like, I'm not fighting some super athlete, you know. I'm not fighting, but
you will win.
I hope so. I need to start. Soon I have to go to training.
This is some presents for you from basketnews. I want you to unpack it.
Okay.
Just to see what you get.
Very nice.
Lithuanian tie-dye T-shirt.
Man,
from our shop.
If Lithuania would be playing Turkey,
I want you to be in the stands with this.
Man, against Latvia.
This would be a twist.
Man, this is really nice.
Yeah.
You know, my wife doesn't know about the tie-dye.
Yeah. So.
Wait. We're gonna put it on. We're gonna put it on, so at least.
Also, there is one for Olga.
But you know, Olga doesn't. You know, when I met her, I wasn't playing basketball anymore, and she wasn't in this basketball world. She doesn't know that the first white tie-dye, the first time Lithuania played as Lithuania in the...
It was from '92 Barcelona Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics, when they decided to wear this Grateful Dead tie-dye, but in Lithuanian... Don't wear it to Latvian game.
So, thank you, Kaspars. Thank you, Olga, for everything. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, man. For sure, no, I'm gonna come. This looks nice.
Yeah, it still looks nice.
It is. I think I can wear it today, you know. This is my. This also my oldest daughter, Messi. Another girl. Yeah, and this is the oldest one, and this is the youngest one, because she knows I like Biggie, Notorious B.I.G. And there's actually some different picture underneath, so she drew. And here's a mess right now because I was sick. My wife changed bed, but yes, this is from my documentary, from my presentation.
What is Cela ir Kaifs?
Cela ir Kaifs. Well, in Latvia, the beauty is in the journey. Double-edged, kind of saying they're associating with the line, you know, but it's not meant like that. It's meant like the beauty is in the journey. This, guys, and this is before Kasparą Kambalą, and this is before anybody that was my generation is in Federation, that are doing wonderful job, that I'm thankful how they you know, take care of me, you know, any games that I like to go, anything like that. This is Edgar Schneps and previous guys. This is the thanks I've gotten for playing when I was last game. When it was last game in my career, I had already started boxing, but I decided to say the goodbye game. This is what Latvian Federation gave me for all my years.
Fantastic.